Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Puzzle of Love podcast. I am your sucker for love host because I'm a hopeless romantic, Dante, here with the gorgeous, lovely, wonderful.
Selena.
And we have another fantastic couple with us, Emile and Tanisha, dialed in from Oregon. So, again, we're touching all different parts of the United States. So, it's lovely. Give them an opportunity to introduce themselves and say hi to the Puzzle of Love listeners out there.
I'm Tanisha Redmond.
I'm Emile Redmond. Hello, hello.
Welcome, welcome. Puzzle of Love podcast. It is a podcast for our couples to be able to give us a little bit of the pieces of their puzzle on how their relationship works. We're not going to dive in too deep unless you want us to, but there is absolutely no way to do that without learning a little bit about your origin story. And we have a game for our couples to play. And we don't have a cool name for it, but I've just been calling it the 2 minute drill. So hopefully that sticks. Uh, each of you will get 1 minute to tell your origin story. One of you will go first, and the other will pick up where the first left off. You do not have the liberty of interrupting the other. So your minute is yours and yours alone to tell because, of course, everyone sees their origin story in a different light. So there might be a little bit of flavor on one or both of your versions of the story. Now, Tanisha, you won to be able to determine the order. So will you be starting us off or will you punt that over to Emil to start us off?
I am going to start us off with
Okay.
our wonderful origin story.
All right. I think Kalina has your timer.
I do.
Okay.
All right. So I'll count you in and you can just start telling us how the two of you met.
Okay.
Three, two, one.
Okay. So it was definitely, I don't remember what day it was, but I know it was on Holly Street. We went to a house party and I walked in, and it's funny because I was from San Francisco and I really felt that there was nobody in Seattle that actually had style or shoe game. So I remember when I walked into the party, I saw a fitted boy with some fresh white forces on. Oh my gosh. I was like, he is fine. I couldn't even really see him, but I was just like, man, this is gonna be my man. I'm about to dance with him for real. Saw him dancing with some little girl. I was like, she can't even dance. Like, I'm about to show him these Cali moves. Like, he's he's gonna be my boyfriend by the end of the night. So yeah, I'm Too Short came on, Bay Area, stand up, yes. And house party, dancing, had my 12s on, I was fitted. So started dancing with him. And yeah, pretty much after that.
Oh,
Time.
time. All right, Emil, you get to pick up where T left off
All right. When does my timer start?
whenever you start.
All right. So there I was, the freshest dude in Seattle, right? So we're at a house party on Holly, and I'm dancing, and I see her on the stairs dancing with somebody else, and I was dancing with somebody else at the time, and then little by little, because I'm a magnet, right? She starts making her way over to me, and I'm like, okay, I peep game, So she eventually made her way in front of me, and we started dancing, we started conversating. And one of my dreams, this is crazy. One of my dreams in life, because being born and raised in Seattle, was I'm going to get me a Rainier Beach cheerleader, right? So in our small talk, she explained that she's a cheerleader for Rainier Beach, and I was like, boom, jackpot, mine, gold, game over. And then I was scared to talk to her, and she ended up asking me for my number. Everything that I thought I was going to say in my head just went completely out the door, and we had that awkward moment at the end of the party where I'm just kind of lingering behind, and then finally she was
Oh,
like,
Time.
ah,
time. All right, babe, do you want to recap this one?
No, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So, house party on Holly. That is par for the course. A house party on Holly sounds about right. Tanisha, not necessarily fresh from Cali, but certainly um, a Bay Area. She's not gonna rep where she's from. Has yet to see anybody with what she would call style here in Seattle, which is, sort of a slight. I'm feeling some type of way about that. Because I know that we know how to dress here in Seattle.
Yeah, but not
Um, but to no avail. Emile was the one who was able to shed that light on her and let her know that we are fresh. Um, she, for lack of a better descriptor, was sprung a little bit. Has determined that she had every intention on making you her man before ever speaking to you. You spotted her and was like, "Yeah, okay, I see what's good." Had a game plan. She told you she was a cheerleader at Rainier Beach, and that completely erased your memory. It was like the equalizer in Men in Black. You forgot everything that you wanted to say. But luckily, she came through in the clutch, asked you for your number, and we'll fast forward to today. And now you guys are a wonderful married couple with a family.
Yes, sir.
Sounds about right.
That's right on the dot.
yeah, that was great.
Even
All
though
right.
off the record, when most people ask me where we met, I usually tell them I'm the one who made the initial contact, but that's not true.
Well,
At
now
all.
everyone knows that you have lied to them. Just so you know. So it's not necessarily off the record when you say something on a
Right.
podcast. But no, it sounds like, and this sounds like it was with. I mean, you were a cheerleader in high school, so you guys were technically high school sweethearts. Is that right? But you guys didn't go to the same high school.
No,
Gotcha.
we went
And
to rival high schools.
really,
Yeah, Cleveland, Rainier Beach.
yeah, that's interesting. An eagle and a Viking. If there's any other Eagle Viking love stories out there, please let us know in the comments. Never heard of that one. But we're not in high school anymore. You're not in high school anymore. So there's a lot to fill in terms of the blanks between that house party on Holly and what we are today. So kind of wanted to dive directly into some of the responses that you guys gave in your pre-screener, in your survey questions, if you will. And other couples, I'll say, since we started the pod, have either made mention to this or kind of just hinted at it. But we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive because you both called this out. So one of the questions directly ties to like what we'll call a challenging moment or situation in a relationship. And you guys both spoke in regards to a time in your marriage where you kind of had to rely on mom and or dad for a little bit. Had to live with someone else or under someone else's roof, and that's not uncommon as we're learning with this podcast. Like I said, several couples have made mention to it, but you guys both called it out as a focal point, sort of a watershed moment, if you will, in the relationship. So I'll shut up and listen to you two kind of talk through that transition to how you guys are today. And I definitely want to talk about what you guys are experiencing as we currently speak, because it puts a smile on my face and definitely puts a cherry on the top of this story.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll start. So when we first got married, we were living on our own, and we both had jobs. We had an apartment down in Kent. For all intents and purposes, I think that we were doing pretty well. And then we got pregnant, right? We got pregnant, and we had our first child. And around that time is when we started realizing that kids are pretty expensive. You're juggling kids, daycare, rent, and everything else. So it took after some talking and some realization, a humbling realization that we were going to need to kind of revert back and go live with our parents. It became a reality, and we spent a year or 2 years at my mother's house, and then 3 years at my father's house. So it was about a total of 5 years that we were actually living with either my mother or my father. So obviously, as a man, right, that has a child, I'm married, I'm supposed to be the breadwinner and somebody taking care of the family. it was very humbling. It was trying. It was stressful. It wasn't a good feeling, right? It's not a good feeling when you have to, as an adult, uh, rely on someone else or rely on somebody's support so heavily just to keep you above water, right? But those experiences, I would say, those 5 years, as humbling as they were, allowed us to go closer. It allowed us to really focus in on what our dreams and what our aspirations were, where we wanted to go, because we knew damn well it wasn't living under my parents' roof for much longer. So but man, it's even thinking about it, it's still kind of touching, because you think about where we were and where we are right now. And I'll never forget the day that we moved in, and I remember looking at Tanisha and I'm like, I spent so many years away from my mom's house because I moved out when I was 17 years old, and only to come right back at 24 was like, I took one big step back, right? So from a man's perspective, it was very trying and very humbling, but I'm not gonna say depressing, because I tend to find myself to be pretty strong emotionally and mentally, but it was trying. It was trying, to say the least. Absolutely.
To piggyback off of my husband, it definitely was trying, but I think we needed those moments to be where we are today, because even I honestly think that we were prideful, like
Oh yeah.
so prideful. We thought we had everything, even when living with our parents. Like it was, we were, man, we were in so much debt living with them, like just living from paycheck to paycheck, loan to loan, buying things that we didn't need. So, like he said, it was definitely a humbling experience. We definitely learned how we needed to learn how to budget and figure out what was important to us and who we were trying to be. Are we trying to show out for others, or like what are we trying to do and really get our goals and just figure out what our future holds? Like, who do we want to be as a couple? Where do we want to go? And I think as young parents, I mean, you think you have it made. You think you know everything that you're supposed to do, and you don't. And it was definitely a great experience to live with his parents, even though they got on our nerves because they would talk to us and tell us things like, you need to be saving this, you need to buy this, like, and it would literally go from one ear out the next, because we thought we had it made. Even though we were adults, we still had a kid's mindset. And man, it definitely took those 3 years with Emile's mom. And then it's funny because at Emile's mom's house, we actually got pregnant with Emile. And I'm just going to be honest, like, I remember crying on the floor because I was just like, how are we pregnant and living with your mom and dad still? Like, how are we going to afford another kid? Like, what are we going to do? Like, this is not where we want to be. Like, and then Emil definitely calmed me down and assured me that everything was going to be okay, and it did. And even though that after we had Emil, we still moved in with his father. Again, that was another learning experience because we actually lived with some of our siblings, and it just taught us about, it just really taught us to be humble and to share and just,
Be grateful.
yeah, to be grateful and to be thankful for everything that comes your way, no matter what challenge hits you. Man, to just rely on each other and know that you got to love each other through the lowest lows and the highest highs, because financials really break couples. And man, just that's honestly what it is. Just really supporting each other no matter where you're at, and really boosting each other to be better. And yeah.
Those are beautiful words. And if you don't mind, again, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper only because of what I know is on the other side of this story. And you touched on it, Tanisha, a little bit in regards to, the finances piece tied to the child mindset, even though you're an adult, 24, 25, 26 years old. So at some point, rubber met the road with you two in terms of that budgeting. Yeah, it went in one ear and out the other when it was coming from parents, but at some point it stuck and you guys decided to uh, have a change in behavior. So particularly when it comes to budgeting, what strategies did you guys start to implement to start seeing that turning point come to fruition?
Stop buying stupid shit. Like I would literally just stop. Again, no separating wants from needs. What like she said, what's really important? Because I'm not going. I think that I was probably the biggest spender, and I would just spend it on nonsense, just absolute nonsense. And without going into too much details, there were some things that happened in the home that we were living in, and it kind of opened up, honestly, everyone's eyes that was in the home, and it was like, you know what, this is it. Like if there's a time that we need to get our stuff together and find a better living situation, the time is now. And then I can't say that it was overnight, but it was pretty darn quick that we started changing our spending habits, our eating habits, and just saving up money, getting closer to God, going to church, just trying to go back to the core basics and fundamentals of adulthood, relationships, responsibilities as a father, as a husband, and yeah, and it, yeah, just like I said, without going into detail, there was something that happened, and it was just like that was God telling us that it's time. It's time for us to spread our wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always need to pay attention.
I would say that for us, we've been on our own since we've been married, and by the grace of God, we've never had to go back to mom or dad in terms of a living situation. But there's certainly been those your razor thin moments where if dad didn't give a lifeline or mom didn't help out the way that they did, who knows where we would have been. And similar to you guys, I think our turning point was when we found out we were pregnant with our first child. I was extremely petrified, and you spoke to sort of like a man's mentality. Like I never shared it with Felina, how I was excited as all get out, and I'd share that information with her, and we lived through the pregnancy experience under that realm. But the entire time, I was petrified on how was I going to afford a third mouth to feed when my spending habits are terrible. I was the spender between the two of us. We both were pretty young, so by proxy made us a whole I'd say ignorant to exactly how budgeting and important it is and how money works and things of that nature. Um, and just practical things. So it kind of forced, at least for me, um, I think because at the time I was the one that like shouldered the responsibility of making sure the bills were paid, and when it became a rob Peter to pay Paul, I was the one who was determining, okay, that light bill's not getting paid until this gets paid. I was the one that was making those decisions. Um, so I had to literally sit down and look at our finances to see where is our money going that isn't a bill. That's why I asked about your budgeting strategy. And the same thing, you touched on a lot of things, buying things you don't need, your eating habits. And it was mostly me. I was
Mhm.
spending so much money on food that was meaningless. I'm talking about, and you think you're doing something because you're being frugal with the dollar menu, but when you do that 4 or 5 times a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, that adds up. So that money could have been groceries. Um, so just changing my mindset. Um, Not so much hers, but certainly mine, because I was like, I'm an adult now. I can spend my money and do what I want to do, but that's not necessarily the case. And you think, oh, as long as I make more money, I'll be fine. But if you have terrible spending habits, that just gives you more money to make terrible decisions. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I really enjoy listening to your story because it provides motivation. And I hope anyone out there who is either currently or has, you know, experience that same struggle, maybe even not as a couple, just as an individual, like not understanding why you find yourself in this vicious cycle of paycheck to paycheck, foot to mouth scenarios, understanding that you have well, a lot of control over that, and it's not something that outside forces um, necessarily can just change overnight. No, it's not going to be that big paying job that you think is going to save your life, or hitting the lottery. There's a reason why most people who hit the lottery end up going broke, because they have
Yep.
poor spending habits. So really looking at self, and for you, Emile, I'll say manning up, because that's what I felt
Yeah.
like I needed to man up and kind of put our big boy pants on. But I think now is a great time to just take a quick break, let people sit, probably go through their checkbook a little bit and see if they're spending their money correctly. We do take breaks and listen to a little bit of music, and you two, whether you know it or not, pick that music. So we're going to go into this first song. Emile, you picked this song, which lets me know where your headspace is at. Maybe you haven't necessarily matured in every area, but we're going to listen to some Freaking You by Jodeci.
Hey,
Classic.
hey, high five.
I'm pretty sure this was played at the Holly house party.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't know if they actually played anything this slow.
Yeah, no, not in high school.
Like I kid you not, the slow song when we were in high school was like what's that, Lovers and Friends? Like with Lil Jon.
Okay, well, we won't be playing that, but we will listen to some classic Jodeci, and we'll be back on the other side.
Not a problem.
So, Tanisha, tell us about your experience as far as like, you moved in with Emile's mom first and then Emile's dad. But how was that like? How was that conversation? Because they're not your parents, and so I know that had to be maybe challenging, or maybe it wasn't. But like your viewpoint of when that conversation came up, that hey, we may have to make this transition.
Well, the funny thing is, I don't think that my relationship with my in-laws are like normal relationships. Like my in-laws really feel like they are my family. Like if we didn't make it, which we're gonna make it, I would still be able to go over their house, call them mom, call them dad. So I honestly think it was my idea to move in with Emile's mom, just because, yeah, with the budgeting, I just knew that living on our own and how we were living wasn't going to be a good situation. So I was the one who presented it to Emile, and at first he did not agree because, I mean, from a man's perspective, he's
Right.
grown, we're already married, we're having our child, it's his responsibility to take care of us. But it took some prying to really get us to move there. But talking to his mom, she's an amazing mother. Like she is not like we don't have that mother daughter like in-law relationship. I can literally, since it's probably because I talked to her since I was in high school, so I can just talk to her about anything. The one thing I will say, living with her, sometimes I felt like more of a child and a mother to my daughter because she was the mother of the house.
Right.
Um,
Right.
So that was the only thing. But overall, like she was very knowledgeable. So in some moments I wanted to be mom, but then in other moments I wanted to be daughter because when Kai would cry in the middle of the night, I would literally bust in her room without knocking and like, here's Kai, like, what do I do? Like, help, just
Yeah.
panicking first mom, so it was definitely even washing Kyrie, like I was terrified to wash Kyrie when she was a newborn. So she literally would wash her for me. So I think it was a good experience because she's a good mom and she doesn't make a difference between stepchildren or in-laws. So that was okay. And Emile's dad, amazing. He has always been like a dad. I'm actually closer to him than I am my own dad's. So to move in with him was honestly awesome because I love him and I think that he is so funny and so caring. And I honestly actually talked Emile into doing that too because he didn't grow up with his father. So I thought it would be because he just moved back from Las Vegas. So I thought it would be a great experience for Kyrie and Emile to actually get to know their Redmond side of the family and for my husband to spend some time with his dad because he's older and we honestly don't know how much time that we have. So just to grow that bond and let them see both sides of their family, I thought would be a great experience. So overall, yes, I did want my own home and having two kids living with someone at times was hard, but overall, both parents, both families are amazing. So I think it was awesome.
I think that's awesome. I think, like you said, I think that's not normal, to have in-laws that really care for you and you care for them. So we actually share that same, I share that same sentiment with you um, about in-laws because, I mean, obviously when we were 14, and, Dante's, mom and dad, I mean, loved me, I loved them, and I looked at them as parents, even though I had my own parents, and the same with Dante. My mom started calling Dante son from the beginning, and I was like, wait, we ain't even established. We're not even married or anything. We're like 15. I don't know, but yes. So we've always kind of had. It's not like his family versus my family thing, and so it's kind of been we're all one family. Even my mom was really close with his mom and even his dad and stuff. And my dad moved to Vegas, so he wasn't here all the time. But just even my dad, he loved Dante and always talked highly of him and stuff like that. But yeah, it's something great to be able to have that relationship with your in-laws. So it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
for sure.
I dominated the last segment, so I'm being quiet on purpose.
Well, with that, we'll go into um, the attributes that you guys both have when you guys filled out the pre-screeners. Um, and I'll start with Tanisha. So, Tanisha, you said friendship, trust, and support. Do you agree with that, Emile?
Oh, no, sorry. No, I was just okay.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
And then Emile said attraction, trust, and support. You both got trust and support. So that has to be a big one. I mean, that has to be, I mean, you both are, look for that in a spouse. So trust and support must be, very, just really important.
Yeah, trust definitely is, I think, the basis of even your basic friendship. If you can't trust, I mean, your spouse, then it's not going to work out, because I need to be able to go to you for anything. Yeah, any and everything, like whether it's good or bad. And I need to trust that regardless what I tell you, that you're going to be there to support me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, as we know, life has challenges. And as we've grown in these last 18 years, man, we've had to really trust each other through every challenge, every growth that we've gone through, and rely on each other to support. Because at the end of the day, like, you can call your mom, you can call your dad, your siblings, but ultimately it doesn't matter if they're there. If we have each other, that's ultimately what's really the important thing. So I think that that has helped us in our relationship, is that I know he's my number one supporter. When I go to him, I can, man, tell him anything. Like, there's no reason I should go to a girlfriend before I go to my husband. And I think that's a lot. And that's where, for me, friendship comes into play, because I feel like it's okay to have your friends, but I should be able to go to my husband and tell him anything, like he's my girlfriend, like, babe, oh my gosh, like this is going on, or vice versa, babe, this is going on, and like I just really need your support. And that that has definitely helped us in our relationship, or helped me at least. What do you
Oh,
think?
I mean,
So you put trust and support too. So
absolutely. I mean, I think the trust part of it is that's non-negotiable. I mean, for any relationship, right? The support part, I rely heavy on, because as some I haven't seen some really good highs, and I've seen really low lows. And I think that if I didn't have that support from my wife, even before my wife, my fiance, my girlfriend before then, or yeah, at that time, if I didn't have that support, I don't know where I would be right now, right? So having someone, like, when you hit rock bottom, just having somebody that's there to help you pick yourself back up, right? And not a lot of people, well, let me say not a lot of people, but there have been instances in the past where relationships have failed because when you hit that rock bottom, that support system isn't there, and it ends up obviously deteriorating your relationship. And then the trust part, like I said, that's the cost of admission. If you can't trust the person, you have no business being with them, doing business with them, or anything. So just stay clear. And then attraction. I mean, yeah. I think everyone tries to overlook it. Like, no, it's not. But I have a theory. So so you can trust somebody, you can support somebody, but I believe that if you fail to find that person attractive, you're going to seek that in someone else. And then once you start seeking that in someone else, that's when you start losing that support and losing that. So I believe that you should always find your wife, husband, significant other, whatever it is, that attraction should always be there. That's like, no matter what. And I think that if you start losing that, you start chipping away at other things that your relationship is built on. Not saying that everything is built on attraction, but I also don't want to understate it either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think all the attributes that you could pick from are important. I don't think anyone would say, I could go without attraction. I could go without trust,
Right.
right? The cost of admission. I like that. My take on attraction, and Quinn knows this about me. I'm like a stickler with words. So attraction and attractive, while are extremely similar in like words, they're not the same. And there's tons of people that or women, there's tons of women that I can point out and say, oh, she's attractive. But there's only one woman that I'm attracted to, or I have attraction for. Because
Mhm.
attractive to me means that
nice looking,
you
right?
have the ability to attract. Attraction or attracted means I actually am connected to that person.
Yeah.
Um, not just physically, but emotionally. Like we've got, you know, emotional equity, spiritual equity, and physical equity within one another. Like this woman is fine to me, like beyond measure. I don't say that just for brownie points, although I do deposit the brownie points into my bank. It's just the reality. I can't control it. It's not something that I don't do breathing, right? I just breathe. Like I don't
Exactly.
try to stay attracted to her. I just am.
Yep.
Um, and I think that's huge because it goes beyond the superficial or the shallow portion because I know I don't look the same way I looked when she met me. I know that I got some grays in this beard and I got a dad bod now, right? Like I know I'm not the same. So I hope she still has eyes for me even though I'm not the same. And I certainly have eyes for her even though she is not a 14-year-old girl, which I don't want to have eyes for a 14-year-old
Right.
year old girl. Just putting it out
I
Yeah.
there. Just saying. I'm just saying. 14-year-old Dante found 14-year-old Queen attractive. 30-year-old Dante, business.
Nice
Minding
edit.
business is definitely sprung over 30-year-old Queena. So yeah, I think that's huge, and I only speak on that because it's beyond the superficial part,
Mhm.
right? Like people look at
Yeah.
attraction and go, oh, right? No, it's deeper than that. So
And that's what I was going to say. Like, when you talk about attraction, it has to be more than just your looks. Like you said, you can find many people that are attractive, um, you know, appearance wise, but, you know, when you know someone and when you're connected with someone, then that brings on the attraction to them. So,
Absolutely.
100%, 100%. Um, now I have to give you guys the floor, and that sorry, babe, I'm taking over a little bit, but
no, you're fine.
I'm just super excited because you guys currently aren't living with mom and dad, right? As we articulate, you guys are in Oregon now, um, and have been for quite some time, right? So, kind of talk through this real time experience you guys are going through in regards to your living situation.
All right. I guess I'll take this because I'm pretty proud of this. No, so just actually recently this week, after 3 years of being down in Oregon, I think that we've kind of settled. I've settled into the position. I know the area. We decided to make our next big leap and apply for a home loan. And we were approved, right? We were approved for our home loan, and we're working. We have an agent, and we're looking at some places now. But yeah, it's exciting. Nervous. I'm scared as hell, but super excited for the whole experience, man. And it's feeling blessed beyond all of my years that I've been alive, man. It's pretty awesome. It's a good feeling. It's a damn good feeling. Even though we're still in our townhouse, we haven't even moved into the home yet, but um just the fact that we got past the first huddle and that we made or the hurdle, and then we've made it to where we are right now. um it's really high. It's really exciting.
Super exciting.
Like I don't even know what to say. I'm pumped.
Yes.
No, you guys, yeah. When you text me and we were, texting back and forth about it, I was smiling ear to ear like I probably look like I am now,
Yeah.
uh, because I remember, you know, all the feelings, all the emotions, all the thoughts that I was having, when we finally were like, yeah, we should probably try to buy a house. And it was a goal that we were working towards, right? Going through that turning point where it's like, all right, we got a kid, and now we have two kids. We know we want a third kid, but and luckily for us, what really pushed us was the market here in Washington, right? Like rent was on the rise so much. I was like, man, if we can afford these rents,
Right.
we can afford a,
Right.
a mortgage. And so that kind of forced our hand, but it was in our plans or in our crosshairs as well. And I'll say this as a spoiler alert. Um, yes, the home buying process is way more difficult and cumbersome than a renting process. Uh, Way more steps. But when you finally find that home and you finally, sign those papers, get those keys and everything, I guarantee you're gonna feel, oh, that's it. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I guarantee you're gonna feel those feelings again. Yes, harder than renting, but well worth the experience. And like I told you when we were texting back and forth, take on all the emotions, take on all the experience. If you're scared about the unknown, that's perfectly fine. If you've got the right agent, which it sounds like you do, you can ask all the questions, and I encourage you to do so. Um, be as meticulous and picky as you want to, because this is your home, right? This is your
Absolutely.
purchase. So again, congratulations. Let's get another cheer going since we got the soundboard.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So happy.
Um, Go
So
ahead.
when you guys moved to Oregon?
November 2018.
Oh, 2018. Okay. And what made you guys move? Like what? Because you guys both were living in Seattle, or in on this side of town. So what made you move there?
What was your
I took a promotion with our company, and they actually relocated my family and I to Oregon, paid for the move, paid for the expenses. I want to say like our whole first month or 2 months rent was pretty much paid for by the company. So yeah, it was yeah, I had a career opportunity to move. And it's funny when this opportunity presented itself, we were actually looking at a couple of other states. So we looked at Texas. We were thinking about going to Corpus Christi, Texas. We looked at
Idaho?
we looked at Idaho. I looked at Minnesota, but I got no traction there from the family. That was a strong no, but I still shot for the stars. And then when I saw that Oregon was open, and we thought to ourselves like, no, we're still young. Our kids are still young. We still love seeing the family. What better opportunity? One, to prove to ourselves that we can make it, that we can live by our own, but also not be too far away. Whereas if we do need that support, right? If we do need to lean on someone, it's not a plane ticket that we have to do. It's just right up the road.
Right.
And I think having that balance of being down here, but still being able to drive up I-5 and see friends and family, it's been great. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Praise God. And let's not let no sales tax fall to the wayside here.
Man,
Right.
man.
So the funny thing too is, this is a side note, when we moved down here, the car that we had was literally on the brinks. Like, it barely made it to Oregon. Like, literally praying to God. Well, first, we prayed about this home because we did not know anything about Oregon. Literally, we prayed and found this place, didn't even view it, didn't do a walkthrough. We just prayed that it was going to be okay. Came in here, it was amazing. It looked just like the pictures. And then the car, prayed again, was like, God, please let us get a new car, because I don't know if this car is going to make it. And he travels for work, so we definitely needed a car that actually worked. And we ended up getting a new car that weekend too. So this definitely was God's blessing. Like, God had his hand over all of this and has guided us from the first day we moved in with his mom until now. And he's still blessing us, and it's so awesome to see.
Amen. I love it.
Yeah.
It's been really serious. This podcast has been a real heavy one. Not heavy in a bad way, just a lot of meat on the bone.
Yeah.
We got fun coming up. So we're gonna take another quick break, and again, music is gonna lead us in. And Tanisha, you picked this song. I don't know if you remember what song you picked,
I don't remember.
but I happen to love this song, and I say that a lot, but R&B is my favorite genre. So um, Avant and Kiki Wyatt are a super combo, and they nailed this cover out of the park.
Out of the park.
My First Love by Avant and Kiki Wyatt.
So, fun question. If you woke up tomorrow morning as a fictional couple, who would you be?
I don't know. You go first.
I'm really trying to think of fictional couple. Mm.
Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv. just so I can be balling. And then the other one would be Martin and Gina.
No way. No.
Wait, you gotta clear. Wait, hold, slow down, slow down. You can't have two picks. First of all,
my bad.
Right.
My bad.
First of all,
Right. I don't.
I need you to clarify which Aunt Viv is Tanisha gonna wake up as, because there was two Aunt
I
Viv.
know.
Dark skin Viv.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
I mean,
OG.
we're gonna be Thor and Oh Girl. No, just Superman. Oh my gosh, yes, there we go. You can be Superman, and then I can be Lois Lane.
Okay.
That's good. I can feel that. I can feel it. I feel that.
All right, you guys have to settle this for us. Every couple has gotten this question. Grits. Are we picking butter and sugar or salt and pepper?
Oh,
Go ahead.
butter and sugar for me.
Because she wasn't raised right. It's butter and salt with some pepper.
Thank you.
Who thought, why y'all
No.
putting sugar on grits?
Have you had it before?
Right?
Yes, that's
No,
why
you
I'm telling
haven't.
you
You
that
have
it's
not.
not right. It is.
Sugar.
There is a chemical imbalance in your head that is
That is so
No.
rude. That is so rude. Because we like our grits sweet.
it's
There's
it's
something wrong
not
with this, is what you're
supposed to
saying?
it's not supposed to be eaten like that. If you want sweet grits, eat oatmeal. That's what
That's not the same.
It's
it's
not the
pretty much
same,
the
though.
same.
No, it tastes nothing alike.
Yeah.
The texture's about right.
No, it's
No,
totally
you
different.
probably get more with cream of wheat than you do
Think-
oatmeal,
Mm-hmm.
which is great as well with some butter and sugar.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that between y'all and God. I'm just letting y'all
Straight
know.
I'm just saying grits. So it doesn't grits. It's just the sweetness. It's just so good. Like, but I mean, if you have salt and pepper, what does it even taste like? Like it doesn't even. There's no taste.
No.
So you've never put salt and pepper on anything in your life?
Yeah, but not grits.
What have you put salt and pepper on?
I mean,
Egg.
Eggs.
But
And
I
what-
usually
what-
have some
and
seasoning
and
salt
what,
or
what did
something.
what did it taste like?
No, but I usually don't just put salt and pepper on it.
Answer your own question.
No,
When
but
you
I
put salt
usually
and pepper
don't
on your
put
eggs.
not just
what
salt and
did
pepper.
it taste like?
Not just salt and pepper though. You gotta have.
What
some
about
seasoning
rice?
on it.
So you know when you eat rice, right? You get rice, you put butter, salt,
Sugar.
and pepper on your rice, right? You don't. You say sugar on rice?
Sugar.
I've done that too. I like sugar in my rice too. So good.
You see what I have to live with, right? You see what I have to go through. You see
The
this?
sugar.
All the time.
I'm afraid that y'all are too far gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not changing my mind.
No.
That is sugar on right. Wow.
It's delicious. You should try it.
You guys know how upset I'd be if I bit into some rice that had sugar on it. I would legitimately have some words with the person who served it to me.
But have you tried it though?
Yes, that's what
You
I'm
tried
speaking
sugar
from.
on your
I'm
rice?
from. I'm speaking from experience because you experiment as kids, like or when you're growing up, you try different things. I've tried the sugar on rice. It's
You didn't have
not.
enough.
No, I think I had enough.
You
I
had
had
too much.
enough. That is. I had my sample size in life. That was enough for me to. Yep, it's not for me.
Hmm. I don't
At this
know.
point, I want to know what else you put sugar on.
What do you mean?
I've known you for
My
a long
cornflakes?
time. Yeah, cornflakes, that's to be
Okay,
expected.
my check.
I mean, I don't eat
I mean,
chips,
check.
but
These are
Yeah,
not really things I eat
but those are
anymore, but
cereals. Like you
my Rice
usually.
Krispies.
Yeah,
yes. Okay.
I agree with that too. Those are vastly different than rice and grit. Like
Well,
there
grits are
is,
is a cereal.
it's
Mhm. Yeah, I agree.
Grits is a cereal?
Sure. It's
Yeah.
a hot cereal.
oatmeal.
Yes.
Oatmeal is a
Oatmeal, you
hot
have cream of
cereal.
wheat, you got oatmeal.
Oatmeal is a hot cereal.
Thank
So is
you.
grits.
You can find grits by the oatmeal.
Yeah. You don't find grits in the, I don't know what department you would find, but next to the macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, grits
It's
are
in the cereal.
they're on the
I
cereal
don't. I
aisle.
wouldn't categorize it as cereal, but
It's
it
cereal,
is a breakfast dish. I will say that
Yes.
it is a
which is
breakfast
cereal.
dish.
It's a
No,
cereal.
sausage is a cereal. Eggs and sausage. That is a breakfast
That is
dish.
a breakfast food, but you can also have sausage, I don't
With
know,
syrup,
with something else.
dipped in syrup.
Y'all tripping.
I'm about to look it up. Grits.
Here's the thing that I want to settle just out of vocabulary. She refuses to refer to salt and pepper on your grits as savory.
It's not. It's not
So
savory.
it's funny. We were talking about when I think of savory, I don't think of sweet.
No, it's not. That's not savory either. Savory, you have other
Like a
stuff in it.
sauce, right?
It's
Like
got sauce. I mean, like there's a savory sauce or roux or something. I don't know, and some sausage and whatever else you're gonna put on your. Like if you have shrimp and grits, that is savory.
Mm-hmm.
oh, so grits are a breakfast cereal.
I know that.
I don't care what Google says. What?
It is.
Are you looking the same thing she just looked up?
Google will also tell you that
The
Bat Boy is
finished
real.
grain products are typically boiled in water and served as a breakfast cereal or side dish.
Mhm.
Pepper cooked grits. Oh,
Yeah, it's a porridge.
What website is
It's a
that?
porridge. You guys are over here eating your sweet curds and whey, sitting on a tuffet.
Yes.
So we got another split. So we're keeping a running tally on which one will win out. And if memory serves me correct, salt and pepper is winning. But don't hold me to it because I got to go through the tapes. But you guys hold whatever the lead is because one gets added to sugar and butter for whatever
should be.
reason, and another one is correct. So next question, babe.
I was trying to find the grits.
Yeah.
Okay. Ugly car with free gas for life or ugly house with free rent for life.
Ooh.
Wait, so it's just the outside ugly or everything in the house is ugly? Just because if it's a bad paint job.
No, it's an ugly house. Like you inside, outside, around the house, everything is
Give me the
ugly.
car.
Yeah, I'm going for the car.
Give me the ugly car with free gas. I
What?
can't.
No,
No, I can't live. No.
but you can renovate. The house. She didn't say you couldn't renovate. She just said ugly.
It's not yours actually, so you can't renovate because it's
Okay,
it's
well,
free
it's
rent.
ours.
Yeah, no, give me the car. I can't.
We don't. It's gonna be roaches in that joint. Like.
Yeah, you ready?
No,
We
I
didn't
remember.
say dirty
It
house
didn't say
or
dirty, it just said
unclean. It just
ugly.
said it's just not. It's not attractive.
It's not an attractive house.
Like yellow wallpaper type.
Like the house that we just saw.
Yellow wallpaper with wood paneling.
Carpet in the kitchen.
Yeah, no, I'm still gonna say give me the car.
Yeah, I can't live in nothing that's.
Yeah, I
Give me
can't.
the car.
Yeah, you save a
Free
lot of
rent
money.
though, as much as you guys
Mm-mm.
could save,
No, I can also say we're not paying gas.
Hey, look, so
not as
Yeah.
much as rent though.
No,
You don't
that's
drive that
true.
much.
That's true.
yeah, but you can live in a beautiful home. I'll live in a beautiful home with a hoopty. I'll even ride in one of those Flintstones with the little with the feet underneath, man. Before I can live in. You live in an ugly home. You don't even want to invite people over. You're like, Thanksgiving at your house.
You got the brown shack,
You don't.
the brown and yellow shack carpet.
You don't want to come over here, man.
No,
Got you.
I'm
Got
with
you.
you.
All right, you guys didn't see the shock on my face, or maybe you did not realize it, but she just ducked the question she was supposed
No,
to ask.
you were supposed to.
No,
ask
it's
that.
cool. It's all right. I'll ask this question. So you guys have to pick one of the following: A quickie every day. B, good sex twice a week. Or C, amazing sex once a week.
What was the second one?
Good.
Good sex twice a week.
Twice in 7 days.
But the third one was amazing. Once.
I'm gonna say quickie every day. Bro, are you serious? What? What? I mean, even if you don't,
You almost broke.
even if you don't put in work like that, you're like, I feel good. I mean, I feel good. I don't know if you're satisfied, but I'm ready to go to work now.
No way. Yeah, we're gonna have to say, I mean, I'm gonna have to say twice a week because no, like, quickies are great, but we're not a hit it and quit it type of
Like
person.
5 minutes. It's a 5-minute ordeal.
On to Fort Jodeci freaking you ends.
I love you, man. Okay, well, yeah, I'm not gonna go with you.
That was a good question. I'm
gonna go with at least great or good twice, because quickie every day, no. That's no passion, no intimacy. That's just like, okay, let's go, right?
5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, no.
A lot can get done in 5 minutes. You got to think. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you ever lived through an earthquake, you remember it, and you think that it was long as hell. It was like 45 seconds, but you, in your mind, it was an eternity.
Did you just compare sex to an earthquake?
Oh my God.
Whoa.
It may not be a long time, but we're gonna move mountains.
The caveat is
Also,
that
the kids, it's like, hey, you just gotta kind of fit it in when you can,
Right.
quick, right?
I'm
So
saying that's a bargain every day.
that's
Mm.
true.
no one said that a quickie couldn't be amazing or good.
Exactly.
That's true.
I'm thinking of the quantity, like it's every day. That's
As long as they're great. As long as they're great cookies.
I don't even think Emile cares.
He's like, as long as I'm good, you're good.
It's
He's like, I get this 24 hours from now. You sure?
right.
Yeah.
Like every day, set a Microsoft Teams reminder. You get it. Beep, 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 beep.
No way.
Oh my God.
If you
Why is it on your calendar? I just want to know.
oh my gosh, babe, I'm putting that on the family calendar. And it's gonna be quick, capital E.
There it is. There it is. Change the world. 5 minutes at a time.
I mean, that's how we have 2 kids, actually.
Yeah, right? Jeez.
Life changes.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's funny.
Okay, let me bring it back in. I don't know how I'm gonna end the show off that. Said change the world. That's probably gonna be the title of the show.
Wait,
Change
change
the
the
world.
world in 5 minutes. That's
5 minutes at a time.
great.
Um,
We should get that T-shirt made.
Emile and Tanisha, thank you guys for the past 5 minutes. Thank you for the whole show, but the last 5 minutes been pure gold. No, we appreciate you guys vibing with us. Letting us tap into a few of the pieces of your puzzle. Hopefully, someone out there has heard this and been able to take nuggets. I know I have. You guys have certainly poured into our passion project as well as into our lives personally. So selfishly, I thank you. To the listeners out there, if you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, as the YouTubers say, that little bell so you can get the notifications when new content is dropped. All of our social media platforms are Puzzle of Love Pod, at Puzzle of Love Pod. So you can search Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. All of them are there. If you're streaming us and only listening, then you're missing all the facial expressions, but it's all good. We love the streams, and you're probably streaming us on any of the many platforms where you get music or podcasts. So we appreciate you. Please share, like, subscribe, tell a friend, invite friends to listen on with you, whatever the case may be. Vibe with us for about an hour, and we will kick it with you next week with another fabulous guest. Till next time, peace.